Yeah, so we evacuated for about a week, not because I was in an evac zone, but because the air quality was so bad that I had to talk to my doctor, and they were like, yeah, you should just get out, just leave. Or I would have had to have been going to the hospital to get steroid injections every day. For anyone who doesn't know, I have asthma. Steroid injections are really what helps with fires. The last time we had serious fires, I also had to do the same thing. So we left so that I could breathe. And so we could have Banjo outside. Like, while the fires were here, he was just like, had to be locked in. I'm not even that close to them. And like everything around me is covered in ash. You can see giant chunks of ash on the street. It's really bad. So evacuated, didn't have much signal, and I'm now back. The air quality is much better. It's still a little bad though. I still do have a little asthma, but definitely a lot better than it was. It was pretty terrible. But compared to many others who've dealt with much worse things, I'm doing just fine. I had a friend who evacuated because they were in an actual evac zone who came and stayed with me, and I know two people who've lost their houses. It's bad. It's pretty bleak. Things are getting better though, and I will say, like, for how bad it is and how bad it feels and how scary it is to watch the city just like slowly be circled in fire, people in LA have been really incredible. I don't know that I've ever felt such a sense of community. I have a text thread that's just full of funhouse people, and a text thread for like multiple different friend groups, and everyone every day is like, hey, is everyone okay? Does anyone need anything? On a daily basis, we are checking in on each other and making sure everybody has everything that they can. When I went and donated stuff to an animal shelter, they had so much stuff piled up already that it made me cry. I got there and I dropped off a bunch of stuff, and I expected them to have some things, but not as much as they did. And it just seeing like the mountains of stuff that people had donated, it makes me tear up even talking about it. It was really, really beautiful. Very shitty circumstances. We're going to be fundraising for fire relief all week, but it is definitely stressful. I'm not sleeping very well. That's why I look like this. It's a lot, but yeah, it's getting better. It's amazing how much a community comes together after a natural disaster. Same thing happened after the 2008 flood in the 2020. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It has been weird to watch the online coverage, especially as someone actually in the city. Like, the amount of politicizing and lying is crazy. Like, I didn't do that when hurricanes hit Florida. It's wild. Sometimes I'm like, what? Am I on the same planet as these people? I've raised money for natural disasters in both Florida and Texas. No part of me goes, but they vote Republican. It's insane. Like, do I think this city manages funds well? No. Many things that I would criticize, but I said this, I think, on Twitter, maybe also on Blue Sky, I don't remember. The fires were at like 100 miles an hour. The wind is what caused the fires, right? I feel like a lot of people are not understanding that. Wind causes fires because either trees get blown into power lines or power lines get blown into trees, or things that just cause friction with things that are effectively tinder because there's so much like dry brush around LA, causes sparks because there's so much friction, or it's like something hits an electrical box. Like, it's just, the wind is what caused the fires. It wasn't fires and wind. It was wind so bad it caused fires. Things could have been handled differently, but when you have fires spreading at 100 miles an hour, there isn't really shit you can do. No one in the world, especially with the hills and the amount of brush and forest that is surrounding LA, what are they going to do? You can't fly helicopters in speeds that extreme. It is unprecedented for the city. It is the worst that we've ever had because of the wind. Like, the fuck are you supposed to do? It's so weird to watch it be politicized. It's really gross, and I don't know. More and more feel like the divide is out of control. You know what I mean? I don't even know what to do at this point about society. You can clear brush before fires. Yeah, for sure, and that would help. But and there are many things like that that they should have done. Like, Australia does clear and burn, where they burn things so that fires don't get out of control. But they still had unprecedented fires in 2018, I think it was, 2019, that burned millions of acres. So it's like, just when the circumstances are that bad, it's a fucking fast moving fire. You know what I mean? When you have unprecedented heat waves and droughts, certain measures just don't seem to be enough. Yeah, totally. Could it have been minimized? Yes. Clearly, all of the insurance companies pulling out meant that they looked at the weather map and they were like, this is a disaster waiting to happen. These houses are going down. Like, they knew, which is so fucking gross. Insurance is a scam. You heard it here first. All insurance is a scam. I remember, like, maybe when I first started paying taxes, what was my first job? I was like 14. I worked at McDonald's and I started paying taxes. And then I had to start paying car insurance when I got my shitty little car when I was like, I don't know, 17 or something. And I was like, I don't understand. Why can't I just save the money and put it towards insurance myself without paying an insurance company? Because they're so profitable. People are just throwing money at them for nothing. They'll try anything that they can get away with avoiding paying the things that they should have to pay. It's so fucking nasty. Insurance is a scam, but we kind of don't have a choice because the whole world is a scam. Let this be the thing that radicalizes you. What about dental insurance? Exactly. If Allstate and State Farm pull out, then I don't want to see their commercials on TV. Genuinely. It's discussing the right uses other people's traumatic experiences, push their anti-DEI propaganda. Okay, so I very rarely look at Twitter anymore, but because of the fires, I was on social media a little bit more. We didn't have a lot of signal where we were because we were outside of the fire zone. So it's like, if I were to post something, it would take like 20 minutes to upload. Eventually it would, but it would take ages. But I could look at the text-based apps. And so I was more on Twitter than I have been in maybe a year. Man, you know, I go on there and people are screaming at each other about whatever they're screaming about. And I just go, I do not give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck. I don't know how any of you care this much about any of this shit. I don't understand it. People are just screaming at each other about nothing all the time. Like, I had somebody ask me what I think of pirate software streaming with Asmongold. What? First up, 2 fake names. It's so funny when we report on content creators that you have to go, well, I heard that somebody called Pirate Software was streaming with somebody called Asmongold. Then, like, you don't use their real names. It's so fucking stupid. What do I think of that? I don't think of it. What do you mean, what do I think of that? It's not something I think of. What is the question you're asking me? I don't understand. I have no thoughts about these 2 dudes that I've never met having a conversation for an hour and broadcasting it. Is that meant to mean something to me? What? Like, I just don't get it, dude. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting old.